So in EIC analysis, first we'll go with E, that is economic analysis. So in economic analysis, we'll try to study the economic concepts which are going to influence the stock market as a whole or industry as a whole. In that, first one is gross domestic product. So if gross domestic product of any of the country increases, ultimately the stocks will move positively or the markets respond or reciprocate to it positively. Just in case of recent coronavirus or in this pandemic, all the rating agencies has decreased the ratings of so many countries. Likewise, the GDP rate for 2020 has been declined from 5% to 1.8%, which has got a worst impact on stock markets. And now if you see the stock markets, they had been continuously moving in a negative direction. So this is about your GDP. Next, inflation. So high inflation is negative to economy. Low inflation is also negative to economy. Means there should not be the higher inflation or there should not be any deflation. You need to have a basic inflation which will grow on an average with increased. Means inflation with some nominal increase is not a problem to any economy, but if increases drastically, that would impact in a worst way. If at all you want to collect data regarding the inflation, so consumer price index is the apt one for calculating the inflation. Then money supply. So people have a tendency that why we are suffering, why our economy is suffering when we can print money easily. Okay, but that's where this money supply, if increase in money supply takes place abundantly, so ultimately what will happen, the value of your currency decreases. The devaluation of your currency takes place and ultimately it leads to higher inflation. So that is the reason obviously the government tried to put a ceiling on supply of money or circulation of money in an economy. Employment. If most of the youth are employed, so employment increases income. Income increases savings. Savings increases investment. So increase in investment boosts the economy. So that's the reason always there is a concentration of creation of employment to the youth available in the market. Even today 40%, almost 22.5% of the youth according to February terms, they are not employed, and with this pandemic and most of the people are out of their jobs. Next, balance of payments. This is one particular barometer of your economy which speaks about exports and imports. There should be a balance between exports and imports of any country. If exports increases and imports decreases, that increases or that makes positive BOP. Increased exports and decreased imports. If exports are less and imports are more, that creates negative BOP. So positive BOP is positive for economy and markets, and negative BOP is negative for economies and markets, and negative BOP creates a special task called current account deficit in the markets. So always we need to keep an eye upon this BOP, and almost imports are double than exports in India. So we are having a negative BOP, and now the gap between the imports and exports are high, but in the coming future let's expect a positive thing to happen. Then forex reserves. As in our personal finance, we'll maintain some reserves at our home to maintain some contingencies in the future. In the same way, every country or economy maintains certain reserves, and that too in the forex form, especially the basket currencies. In the form of basket currencies or SDRs, they'll be maintained. So if forex reserves are more, ultimately the economy will be positive. If they are less, it's an indication of negative health of your economy. And now we are standing at around $500 billion of forex reserves. Gold. So gold is also one of the economic indicator. Why? Because especially India is importing gold and crude oil. The major importer of gold and crude oil is India. Almost 1,000 tons of gold will be imported every year into Indian markets. In order to curtail these imports and to put our balance of payments healthy, the government 2 years back has come up with a concept called gold monetization. Okay, so with which somewhere around 400 tons of gold import was decreased in the year 2019 and 20. Crude oil, yes. Why? Because this is the major one where we could not stop. So here the import base is increasing just because, means the import bills are increasing just because of crude oil. We are the major consumer of this crude oil. Why? Because we doesn't have much manufacturing setup or production setup in India for this crude oil. Only we have to import. Majority we need to import from the external countries. So that's the reason this bill is putting a lot of pressure. But recently, as you know, the crude oil prices has been crashed. So that's the reason now there is no much impact of crude oil on our economy. It's a positive sign for from last 2 months. Then index of industrial production. So if industrial production increases, the index increases. With the index of industrial production increase, ultimately it indicates a positivity towards the economic development. So we concentrate on industrial production, whereas Indian economy has got 23% of its GDP contributed from industries. Next, change in monetary policies. Just recently, the repo rate has been decreased in order to create liquidity in the market. So that creates some momentum in the financial markets. So change in monetary policies influence your stock markets. Fiscal policies also change. Economic policies. So change in all these policies towards one particular industry or the economy as a whole is going to impact on your companies. So we need to study about all these. Increase in foreign direct investment. Just yesterday we have seen that Facebook has purchased above 9% of the share in Reliance Jio. That is one of the major FDI flow in India with increased inflows. So ultimately the stock markets will move forward and vice versa. Okay, so these are some basic factors which we will consider in doing economic analysis.